There are new warnings that Al-Qaeda is making a comeback in Afghanistan. U.S. officials are now saying that the terror group's current leader may be laying the groundwork to relaunch plots once the U.S. fully pulls out all of our troops, as is expected, by December 31st of this year. I'm joined now by retired four-star General Jack Keane, who served as Vice Chief of Staff of the Army. He is a Fox News military analyst. General Keane, good morning. Good to have you here, as always. You think it would be a huge mistake for us to pull all of our troops out by December 31?
Oh, absolutely. A huge strategic mistake. One, it'll encourage the Taliban, certainly, and it'll deflate the morale of the Afghan National Security Forces. And then we've got the Al-Qaeda that are in northeastern Afghanistan. There's just a couple of hundred of them. We contain them in that area. We constantly go in there with our drones to attack them. We haven't talked much about it because they're not doing much of anything. But if we pull out of there, Martha, the point is then thousands will join them. And the Taliban will willingly support them, and we'll be back where we were with a bona fide sanctuary again in Afghanistan. And make no mistake, that is exactly what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to think back, General, because during the original campaign, when the president was so against the war in Iraq and wanted to end it, he talked so much about the fact that this was the battle that really needed to be won, that Afghanistan was the front in the war on terror, and that he would commit himself to making sure that it could not be a haven for terrorists. I haven't heard him say that in a really long time.
Yeah, that's a great point. He has not said that in a long time, and it clearly was the major reason that he made the 2009 decision to escalate the war, and with the so-called Afghanistan surge. You know, the other thing, Martha, is that we're conducting which is in the open press, a campaign by the CIA against the Al-Qaeda in Pakistan, and we do that from bases in eastern Afghanistan. We pull out totally. That operation would be jeopardized by a U.S. pullout.
Yeah,
to be sure.
And that could present a huge strategic loss for us, as you say. Talk to me about the President Obama and Karzai relationship. And, you know, a big story on the front of the New York Times this week about how that is over, essentially, that they're basically not talking anymore at all. We know he's a very mercurial figure, and he's not easy to deal with. But does it make sense to abandon that dialogue?
Yeah, I think so. And I think we should have actually done it sooner because of the way Karzai acts. We are going to have a successor here in a couple of months, and that is who we should be dealing with. You know, Martha, I don't believe we should be negotiating with them about leaving forces behind. We should insist on leaving forces behind for the reasons we just stated, that it's in U.S. national interest. We didn't ask the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, or the Koreans if it was okay to leave troops behind. It's in our national interest to leave troops behind after this war as it was after previous wars, and we should insist on it.
Well, you know, everyone should keep these numbers in mind. As you've pointed out, there's an estimate 50 to 100, maybe a little more, Al-Qaeda that are currently in Afghanistan, and that number has been kept low by the U.S. forces there. But if we do pull out at the end of this year, you know, we'll be talking next year at this time, and we'll see what those numbers look like at that point. General, we'll see. Thank you so much.
Always good talking to you, Mark.
You too, General.